Hi, my name is Kheira Bey and I am a professional actress living and working in London in the United Kingdom. Today, I have had the pleasure of training at really amazing establishments such as the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and the Sylvia Young Theatre School. And I've also had the pleasure of selling out really amazing theatres here in London, such as the King's Head Theatre, Arcola Theatre and Pleasance Theatre. And so today I'm going to be providing general advice to other actors about how to learn lines really quickly, how to choose your maybe first headshot photographer, and also how to earn more money to facilitate your acting career. Firstly, I know that learning lines is probably the most boring and possibly even stressful part of an actor's job, especially when you have less than 24 hours to learn a script. Or in my case, I know I have had to learn 18 pages of dialogue. I was given the script at 8 p.m-ish in the evening and then had to audition at 11 a.m. the next morning in a Persian accent, and I didn't even know what a Persian accent was, let alone how to do it. So yeah, I think generally there is some ways that I know I do in order to help learn lines really quickly and efficiently. So firstly, I think actors should always be reading, like whether this is books, plays, magazines, newspaper articles, you know, the free newspaper in the tube, just because every time you do that, you are really strengthening the muscles up here, because you're retaining all of that information in such a condensed amount. So then when you're actually faced with a script, a whole new different piece of text, those muscles are stronger and are more stimulated. So it's kind of easier to absorb those lines more quickly. And then also the second part of reading for character preparation. So I will read everything in order to get into character for a role. So this might be radio pieces, recounts, diary entries if I'm doing something really historical, or anything really. Like at the moment in my room at home, I have fashion magazines from Russia, like replica ones, because I was trying to get into character for a Russian teenage girl like last week. So I have that, and if you're kind of more engaged with the world you're trying to create, I don't know, the lines kind of sink in a bit easier, and because you're owning them in your own way, and you just are more connected to them. The last way I like to learn lines is by focusing on movement memory and muscle memory, and just kind of trying to challenge myself to kind of think of how many ways I can learn my lines and get that into my body. So that could be by whispering them, shouting them, singing them, writing them all the way out, doing them in as many different accents as I can, and doing them as if I'm talking to a child or like a really, really old person, just so I'm getting it all the way into my body, so that my body will know how to do the lines when my mind forgets or I'm really tired and can't forget. Next, I'm going to be talking about headshots. So headshots are like this size, and they're really important because they get you in the room. So first piece of advice, like I understand they're really expensive for what they probably are, but really do not scrimp on headshots. And so when you're going about photographers, just remember that, you know, a casting director or a director or producer or whoever will be casting from about 100 thumbnail images all tiled on a computer screen. So if your headshot doesn't have your eyes sticking out on top of them, and you know, they're gonna have a massive screen full of so many people, then I mean, you're probably not gonna get called in, like, sorry. So yeah. And also, secondly, when you are choosing your headshot photographer, please remember to exhaust all of your research methods. Please simply don't just Google headshot photographer and then whatever your city or town is, because chances are, yeah, I mean, that might be good, but why don't you actually go onto an agency website of actors who are actually booking jobs and have a look at their headshots, and, you know, are they interesting? Are they engaging? Do you want to book them in a room? Then probably save that, save all of the names of the people that interest you, and then choose whoever you want, really. And then next, I'm going to talk about when I go onto a headshot photographer's website. Okay, they might have loads of famous people they've taken pictures of, which is great. They're going to have them first because that obviously looks great for them. But did the famous people actually look like you? Because remember that when you're purchasing headshots, you don't know in advance what they're going to look like. So you've kind of got to really estimate what you might end up with at the end of the day. So if I'm looking at a website, if I see loads of male actors that are really famous and standing out, I'm probably going to be a bit like, well, I don't really see females, so I can't really estimate how myself it could be interpreted as. So yeah, just bear that in mind, and also bear in mind the fact that a fashion photographer is amazingly different from a headshot photographer. So, you know, you're not a model, you're an actor at the end of the day, so just bear that in mind when you're choosing your headshot photographer. Lastly, if you're young in your career, like perhaps me, and you're thinking, how on earth am I going to afford all of these amazing headshots to get really amazing auditions, to also learn lines for, I have some money advice for you, because we all need to do something, I think, on the side. So you probably have a job already, but you know, that job doesn't stretch to extra classes, extra plays, trips to Russia to get into character, or Russian museums to get into character. So firstly, I want you to kind of think about doing something like writing or freelance writing or blogging, because a lot of actors currently do this, and they actually have blogs where they tell people about what they do and also share their skills and expertise in their fields. But a lot of actors don't actually use Google AdSense or a similar kind of system to put adverts on their sites and make more money out of it that way. So I guess that's something to kind of think about, because it's free money and you're not really doing anything in order to get the money. So just think about it that way. Also, I know that quite a lot of actors share skills. So that can be teaching, that can be, I like to run workshops for little kids. Like, I get paid to do that, and for me that's just fun because I don't really think of it as a job. I just get to like hang around and play games with like kids and watch them act, which is really, really fun. And also I know actors that share whatever skills they have, so accents, languages, musical instrument skills, practically anything. And you can also work whenever you want, flexible hours, which is great when you've kind of got auditions, rehearsals, classes, filming, all of that. Like, you can just earn money when you can. And lastly, I just want you to kind of think about that you could practically do anything for money. So you could be a hair model, you could drive for Uber, you could be a Deliveroo driver, you could be one of those people that get paid to literally take documents from one building to another. There's so many different ways, and really just research and have fun with it.